Let me ask you this earlier. Is this leftovers from a
What?
I meant to ask you this earlier. Are those leftovers from a movie or something?
What is?
Whatever you're snacking on?
Oh no, I picked up a bag of beer cheese lays. I stopped munching on them for now.
Oh.
Yeah, they're the kettle cooked chips. I had a light dinner, so I was feeling kind of munchy.
Hello and welcome to Yoda Soda Creations, the podcast. Even though it's a twosome this time in terms of one friend, and the other head is as mentioned last week, is still in his spring break cruise.
Yeah, so you're in for an audio only edition of the podcast this week.
Regardless, same thing. Same thing. Talking about CPL to recent. Last one before we get the wave of new content, and since weather's getting warmer, the flowers are blooming on the trees, and last traces of snow disappeared, so you know what that means.
Winter wrap up, winter wrap up. Yep. All the way back to season 1. Again, I mean, we did a season 1 thing, I think, semi-recently, because how long ago was the premiere? I don't remember. Point is, it's popped up more recently than other seasons have.
Yeah, earlier this month.
Ah, yes.
Took the words out of my mouth. But yeah, spring is here. So yeah, seemed a bit logical to talk about the one episode where there's a change where there's a season transition. Well, till season 5, of course.
Yes. Well, I mean, what was the episode? The one with the running of the leaves? Wasn't that also one of those seasonal transition things? I'm trying to remember what the episode was. It was the one with the race.
Fall Weather Friends?
Yes. Which, did that come after this episode?
Yeah. Though I wouldn't say that's much of it. I wouldn't say that's much of a transition as much as, well, it was during fall. So it was during fall when the leaves drop. Winter is when snow starts popping up.
Yeah.
I was of course more referring to Thanks for the Memories.
Ah, yes.
That was more of a transition because snow was starting to appear.
Ah, true. I just remember Fall Weather Friends because the running of the leaves was to. They did that to knock the leaves off the trees. So that kind of got the same sense of, okay, it's kind of a seasonal transition setup period. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right. Can't seem to recall the last time I saw a pile of leaves first day of winter.
True. Or maybe they just knock that out of the way at the beginning of fall. Anyway, the point is, those two episodes were so out of order. Like, should have been the other way around. Anyway, so.
Well, it's not too unusual given the heartwarmings that have been heartwarmings that sometimes come and go.
True. But anyway, let's not get into that. It's just, sorry, my mind just, mind locked up for a moment. Anyway, so should we get into the episode?
We're getting.
Okay, so the episode starts off with Twilight being really excited because winter wrap up is here. She has her checklist. She's getting all set. She has all the clothes and stuff. She's ready to do this. Spike's a bit upset because it's kind of early, but no matter. Twilight is ready for this. Only to realize, yeah, it's a bit too early. The sun isn't even out yet.
Everyone has those days.
Yeah.
In fact, I can still remember daylight starting to pop in when I can still remember daylight starting to pop in. One time I was out chasing a steam locomotive.
Yeah. I'm not sure I can relate to this whole thing because I'm not much in the way of waking up early. I mean, hell, the other day I woke up at 12:30 in the afternoon. My sleep schedule's been a bit off as of late.
Also, expect this attitude for Spike throughout much of the episode.
Yeah, Spike is... How should I put it? Spike is kind of snarky in this episode, but on the other hand, he also really doesn't help that much. But we'll get to that. So, now that she's gotten up at a proper time, Twilight is ready for a winter wrap up, and she goes to the meeting spot. The mayor gives a great speech, and off everyone goes, except the problem, no one actually assigned a task for Twilight to do. And she wonders what team she should join. The Earth Pony team, agriculture. Well, not Earth Pony, but like the agricultural part of the team. You know, clearing the snow off the ground, tilling the soil, breaking up the ice. Or wait, no, or was that part of the other team? One was more so okay, it's Pegasus team. Obviously, they're their own thing. Yeah, Twilight's not joining that one. And then the plants team, and then like the animals and stuff team. I forgot the exact naming schemes of the teams, but wait, what team was Pinkie Pie in? Hold on. Oh, I skipped past Blue Vest. But okay, not so much the Pegasus team, but like clearing up weather-related stuff, like ice and clouds and stuff. Okay,
Yes.
got that cleared up.
Yes, those are the Blue Vests.
Yeah.
Brown is the animal relations. There's nest making, and there's also animal making.
So weather, agriculture, and animals. Got it.
Agriculture is green.
That's what I meant. So yeah, so Twilight's trying to figure out what she's gonna do, and we have our song. Very good song for early in the show. A bit basic, but it gets the job done.
And it's still one of the most popular songs from this year. And it was still one of the most popular songs from the early days.
Yep. Okay, song, da da. So yeah, Twilight first asks Rainbow Dash if she can help, and yeah, Twilight doesn't have wings, so that's out. And I realize it. Words are skipping ahead from brain to mouth.
Did it have something? Did it have something involve the Sonic Rainbow episode that? You mentioned
It's like that episode came later, but it's like wow, oh that wing spell would come in handy right about now. So yeah, Twilight's not joining the Pegasus team. And so next up, Rarity. Rarity's in charge of making nests for the birds. And they're all nice and they have bows and everything. So Twilight figures, it can't be too hard, let's give it a shot. And what she creates, in the words of Spike, needs to be condemned. It looks like a real-life bird's nest. Maybe a bit rougher, but yeah, not very good. Definitely not up to the standards that Rarity has. So,
and also
Rarity's gets what?
And also nothing like Norval's replacement nest from Clifford's puppy days.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. So yeah, Birdie's gonna be occupied for a while trying to fix Twilight's mess. Next up, clearing up the ice with Pinkie Pie. Yeah, Pinkie Pie and the rest of her portion of the blue team use ice skates to cut up the ice a bit so that when the sun comes through, it cracks along the lines. And just as soon as Twilight puts the ice skates on, she's already questioned whether or not this is a good idea. Good on her. Spikey, on the other hand, basically tells her to go ahead and shoves her off onto the ice. It goes about as well as you'd expect. Not at all.
I still crack a smile at the snowman gag.
Yeah, that was nice. But again, good on Twilight for knowing her limitations.
Something I never mentioned during the watching, but came up anyway. You know the movie Bambi?
Yes, I know of it. Don't know if I've actually seen it or not. I probably have, but like way a long time ago.
Anyway, it reminded me of the ice skating scene from that movie.
And okay, I just froze on a very odd pose for Twilight. I'll just show you that for a moment. Just like how I know there's a whole body behind there, but just like the way she's posed, it just looks weird. You know? Like a head that has two legs popping out at the bottom and two off the side. Anyway,
sort of a backwards M&M. Sort of backwards M&M if you look at it.
Oh yeah.
And yes, I did see the nostalgia critic video he did on the characters.
The what now?
And yes, I did see the video the nostalgia critic did on the characters.
What characters?
Eminem.
Oh. Didn't know he did that. Huh.
Wow.
I've only been keeping up with the nostalgia critic.
At this point, I'm like, if something comes up that piques my interest, it might be worth it. Otherwise,
Yeah, pretty much the same. Which isn't really much these days. So, onwards to Fluttershy and the animal team. Fluttershy is ringing a handbell to wake up the animals. As she does. She'd probably offer to do it even if it wasn't time for Rin to wrap up. And like, Twilight figures, this should be easy, you know. Just ring a bell, wake up some animals, easy peasy, you know. So, Twilight figures give it a shot. So she goes to the first hole, rings the bell, and wonders what kind of cute critter will come up.
leading to a
Snakes. Why did it have to be snakes?
of course, leading to a classic freak out moment.
Yep, from the snakes goes into the bat cave. Then from the bat cave, hold on. Snakes, bats, and then tree into the bees. I knew there was something before the skunk. I was still thinking caves, what could it be? But no, she ran into a tree and knocked a beehive down onto her head.
A classic cartoon whenever.
Yep. Then she runs into a skunk nest, and you can kind of guess what happens then. Yeah, I can't really blame Twilight for this. That's just a string of bad luck. And possibly an apparent fear of snakes. So yeah, waking up the animals, that's out. So after a nice scrub down with tomato soup, Twilight's ready for the next attempt. Helping Applejack clear the snow away so they can plant the seeds. Yeah, she cannot push that plow. That was made for earth ponies. Or at the very least, ponies that have actually done actual exercise.
Yeah, she was hitting the. Yeah, she was basically hitting the books a lot and spent more of her time inside dorms rather than out on the track or in the gym.
Yeah. Now, season 8 Twilight, she could probably give it a push. Then again, and she's an alicorn, so Earth pony magic. So that probably helps a bunch, really.
Mm.
Yeah, I mentioned it when we were actually mentioned this when we were watching it before we started this podcast. And yeah, Ponyville's winter wrap-up policies are clearly biased against unicorns. Pegasi use their natural magic to fly. Earth ponies have their increased strength. Unicorns got screwed over.
So how was Rarity able to work with Ness then? That's the question.
I guess with her hooves? Unless she is using magic, in which case... Well, I mean, I guess telekinesis would be like the most basic of magic. So maybe they don't really count that, but I assume that she just used her. Actually, hold on. Let's see now. Going back. Yeah, she used her mouth to tie the bow on the nest. So yeah, purely non-magic it seems. So yeah, Twilight's not pushing the cart, and yeah, she's just about fed up with all this. And she recalled Spike mentioning that she could get so much done if she just used her magic. So she basically gives into peer pressure. Well, not peer pressure, sort of, but gives into the temptation to use the magic. And basically brings the plow to life. And she put a bit too much oomph into the power, and it starts dragging her along. Now, what I was wondering is, okay, it's her spell, cut the power. I mean, yeah, I know it keeps going just for the snowball and mini avalanche bit at the end, but still, Twilight's not exactly the brightest this episode.
I don't think she'd used it prior to this, or at least on camera.
Right. So yeah, the plot goes out of control. All that progress the Earth Pony has made is lost, and everyone is just upset, including Applejack, who calls Twilight out on using magic in a strictly no magical or traditional activity. So everyone's behind schedule, and Rainbow Dash and Fluttershy are arguing Applejack and Fluttershy are arguing with Rainbow Dash about whether or not to bring the sun out. Applejack needs the snow melted so they can plant the crops. Fluttershy needs the snow not to melt because the animals aren't all awake yet, and the caves would be flooded if the sun did come through. And the mirror is in despair because once again, the winter wrap up is going to be late. In fact, going to be even later than usual.
Which apparently there's the implication that either it's been a while since the last organizer, or
hey, we know who used to do the organization in town. We saw her last episode.
Well, last week.
Well, yeah. So clearly it's all her fault. But anyway, so yeah.
Still have to wonder how many more periods of lateness there's been in the history of the happening.
Yeah. So yeah, remember Rarity was cleaning up Twilight's mess? Well, she's still doing that. She hasn't made another nest since then. They have one. The animals are still asleep. The clouds are still in the sky. Caramel lost the grass. Caramel lost the grass seeds. And it's just a big mess. But Twilight here's disorganized, and she's got this. She has a checklist. So that she gets everyone together, sets out a plan, and apparently they managed to all get everything on the list done really quickly. Like, all the nests get made, the ice gets all chopped up, snow gets cleared, crops get planted, animals awoken, clouds busted, and all is green. All thanks to Twilight. Who gets a special vest of her on, basically, okay, you're in charge of managing everyone. And it's like, she would have... you know, guys, if you guys actually gave her a task beforehand, you guys would still probably be in a huge mess, so I guess good on you guys for not including Twilight.
Something I should also mention that we also briefly touched upon during the rewatch. I guess it's like America. We hadn't quite gotten the rights for Blacks in before. Hadn't quite gotten the rights for Blacks in when things started to get more settled in, especially after winning our independence.
Yeah, sure. I mean, like, unicorns do find spots to work. It's just that, whatever. Maybe they just still haven't gotten used to Twilight being there yet.
Also points for trying to have her Also, points for having her adjust to life in Ponyville is supposed to capitalize because, yeah, they use magic there and not in Ponyville.
Yeah. Because, I mean, Twilight's whole bit of her song is like, okay, what exactly am I going to do without magic? It's like, eh. But yeah, so... Oh yeah, and after all that got worked out, they left Spike alone sleeping out on the last block of ice. It melted. Spike got a cold. Dick move.
Though it also kind of serves him right for being, well, kind of a jerk.
Yeah, oh well, he was also probably grumpy because he got woken up by Twilight at like 4 in the morning. But yeah, that was the episode. Overall, pretty good. Definitely a classic. Definitely one you should watch.
Yes, and the moral is pretty. And the moral is surprisingly well presented. The moral is surprisingly well presented. How do you find your How do you find your How do you find your place in a grand scheme of things?
Yeah. And it's yeah, it seems like we get these done quicker when there's no art, but at the same time, it's kind of boring. You know, it's well, I wouldn't say boring, but you know, not quite as interest drawing, if you know what I mean. I like the nice artwork.
Yeah, these are quite a major. Yeah, these are quite a major departure from what we've been used to for the longest time. But thankfully, that will. But thankfully, that will be present next week as we start the first in the last wave, first in the last wave of Generation 4 pony content and related.
Yep, next week is the beginning of the end.
Well, almost.
It'll be a long, drawn out end, but it's the beginning of it.
Sort of almost, because Spring Breakdown is the Christopher special, and then
the following week,
April 6th, is when the
Season 9 premiere.
Yes.
And then going forward from that, it'll be the new episodes as they can't come out until we reach the probable mid-season hiatus. I forget, we've been doing the hiatus thing last several seasons, haven't we? I'm trying to remember. Or has it just been a general, just continuous stream of episodes till the end? I know a few years we had the whole mid-season hiatus thing.
Since season 5.
Yeah.
Before that, it was basically long periods. Usually spring, summer, mostly spring, summer, mostly fall before the next season came out.
Yeah.
Then apparently there was a bit of a decrease in toy sales at one point, which explains season 5's delay.
Ah. So yeah, going by the usual, we'll probably have the hiatus around episode 12 or 13. So, the usual midway point.
Yeah.
Here's hoping for a better midway point than last season. No, I haven't forgiven it for that. I haven't forgiven that episode yet.
I am definitely on your side of that argument.
Yeah, it's like, if anything, Chrysalis needs to come back to redeem herself after that.
So you're okay if she eventually switches appearance permanently.
Do you mean to say? Are you trying to say, will I be fine if she eventually ends up going to the side of good? Because the only change of appearance I can think of is, the big change that the Changelings did during the season 6 finale?
Yeah, it was 6.
Yeah, season 6. If that's what you're referring to.
Well, you seem to have left your statement open for. Well, you seem to have left your statement open for a couple of things. Either a major character improvement as opposed to last time, or I think for a lot of us,
I get what you're saying.
I think for a lot of us, the inevitable at this point.
I realized what I did. Didn't mean it quite that way. I meant from a writing standpoint. But yeah, it's like, she definitely needs one last hurrah to hopefully do better than last time. Because it was a major step down.
Either way, I guess there needs to be a bit of a difference in handling as well. Yeah, either way, there's definitely needs to be a difference in handling as opposed to last time.
Yeah. And again, if they make what happened that episode relevant, then okay. It'll be a decent setup. But until then.
That too.
So yeah, anything else for this week?
I think with all things pretty much said and done. Oh wait. Big question. Has anyone seen the trailers?
A little bit.
I'm having some things coming up, but I'm not setting my hopes. I have some things coming up in prediction side of it, but I'm not setting my hopes too high.
But yeah, it's like so. Hopefully, we'll be in for a good special and then a good premiere. And good rest of the season as well.
And hopefully things will not like that. I guess with that being said, we will leave.
You okay?
I guess with that being said, we will leave the rest of rest of y'all to the rest of the rest of the yourselves, and hopefully our third man doesn't get too caught up in something else.
Yeah.
And we will most likely have and if he does, and given his so yeah, hopefully over next week, and hopefully you guys will listen to us then. Take care.
Later.